Good morning, everyone. It is an absolutely gorgeous day here. I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning to 57 degrees. And right now, it is still just 9 o'clock in the morning and it's already 65. It is just wonderful to have those kind of temperatures, to be able to just go out onto the patio and just enjoy the weather and the being outside in the fresh air. But anyways, in all actuality, we still have a lot of snow in the ground. So I can't even imagine how warm it would be if we didn't have all this white stuff still lying around, but it is quickly disappearing. And if you can see behind me, yeah, I don't know where my brain went last week because my husband was off, and I don't know. I mean, finally I turned to my husband and I said, it's a good thing that you're gone back to work because now I'm going to get some work done. I have like just a ton of laundry. I have not vacuumed or swept or dusted anything since the week before. So, and I mean last week, I mean the week before that. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. But I also, believe it or not, I got to run to Walmart again. Yeah. Too much looking around at stuff that I really didn't need and neglected to buy a few things that I do need. Go figure, right? But anyways, I hope you will want to join me for a little portion of my day, and I will talk to all of you folks in just a little while. I just thought I would show you just how much snow we still have. So yeah, we have quite a bit still, but it's good to see the grass. Look what I have growing in my garden. This is actually a concern to me because this is sage. And this is only February. So, wow, yeah, we're going to get cold weather again. And I really, really hope that this does not totally get killed back. And I don't know if you're going to realize this, but that is parsley. Why in the world would parsley start to grow? It dies out, especially in a container, because it's not underground, so it even gets, colder. But yeah, that's parsley. And then over here, in this very sad looking area, my chives are coming up. And yeah, this year I lost them all. Usually I can come out here and I can cut chives all winter long. All I have to do is brush the snow back if there's too much snow, but not this year. This year, it totally died back. But as you can see, it's growing again. With this beautiful weather that we're having, I thought that I would go ahead and start putting out a nice wreath on my front door for spring and Easter and that sort of thing, only to see that the wreath that I had was really looking poorly. It was faded and I wasn't going to put it back up. It was just pathetic. Let's put it that way. So I took everything off of it, and even though it's old and it's kind of lost its shape a little bit, I decided that I was going to go out and I was going to try to find something that was affordable for me to put onto this wreath. And I did not want to spend a lot of money because yeah, the wreath really wasn't worth it. I might as well just go out and buy a whole new wreath. But I'll show you what I found. I found these at the Christmas tree shop. And I just thought they were really cute. And so I ended up getting this one here. And I ended up getting this one here. And you can see I've already started to make it curved so that it will go on the wreath with this one. And it's just a little bit different between a blue flower or a little white flower. Otherwise, they're really not all that much different, other than this is a little brighter yellow on the eggs I'm talking about. But they didn't have a whole lot of them. In fact, I had ended up going to Hobby Lobby left there because there was no way I was paying those prices. And then I went to AC Moore's, and I didn't like anything that they had. Theirs was just too cutesy with glitter, and forget that one. So then I went over to Michael's, and I thought, well, yeah, okay. One, they really didn't have what I was looking for, but two, some of the things that I would have been able to use, I wasn't going to spend the price there either. So I just kind of hopped right over next door to the Christmas tree shop, and sure enough, they had these. So all I am doing is I just have a pair of, yeah, really bad old, these used to be my dad's, to cut the wire, because as you can see, it's quite long. And I'm just shaping it, and honestly, I have my hot glue gun out, and I have some twine here, and I'm not really sure how this is going to work, but I figured anything's going to look better than this, right? Anyways, let's see what we can do to make this kind of look nice, because these were very inexpensive. These were just a couple dollars each, so hey, I got away with a cheap wreath if I can make it work. But all I'm doing with these is because they were straight, is I'm just bending them to go along with the wreath, and I'm making sure that the eggs are on this side because I'm going to hot glue them down, and we don't want the eggs to get in the way of being able to do that. So I'm just kind of making sure that they all get pushed upwards so that they don't interfere with gluing them down. And then the only other thing I'm going to do is just cut off the end. Really need to get a new pair of snips one day, but then I just thought, and I just have these setting here. I don't have them glued down at all. I'm just kind of trying to figure out how I'm going to do this, but I think I'm just going to do it like that. And then with this next one, I'll just put that then there, like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to hot glue it down, but I'm also going to take my twine because I do not have a screen door on my front door, so I want to make sure that they stay on and they don't like get tossed and blown off because it's only hot glue. But anyways, I'll show you what that's like as I'm doing it, and just little bits here and there. But just have my hot glue gun, and I'm just really going to try to find areas that I can glue it down. In fact, you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tie that down first, then I'm going to glue it down. So I will bring you right back. Now, sorry about that, but this is kind of a work in progress. It's not like I had rhyme or reason on how I was going to go about this. I just bought the stuff and thought I'd do it. But I just tied a piece here and tied a piece here just to make sure that that stays on enough for me to be able to put a little bit of hot glue up underneath there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the rest of this with tying it on here, because all I'm doing is just taking a little bit of twine and tying it around it. You're never even going to see it. So I will show you what that's going to look like when I got it all on there. This is what it looks like. And I think that it turned out really nice. Now, I have not hot glued any of this. I just put about 2 pieces of twine to tie it on each one of the 4 long picks is basically what I'm going to call them. And so I'm going to go now and I'm just going to dab a little bit of hot glue in different areas all the way around just to secure it. But anyways, I think that that turned out really good. And if you think about it, I mean, okay, I spent $2.50 on 4 picks, you know, the long one, each one of these. And so I've been able to recycle this wreath, and I think that's going to look really nice. Anyways, I'll talk to all of you in just a little while. For today's devotion, our scripture verse is Proverbs 17, verse 9. He who covers a transgression seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates friends. You know, I have met many believers that have a difficult time with forgiveness. And I recently experienced this myself. But we must remember that forgiveness isn't about the person who hurt you, but it's so you can move on. And in order to move on, we need to forgive and forget. When we're not willing to forget, then every time we think about the hurt that someone has caused, it brings back all the emotions that we felt at the time it happened. Playing the sequence of someone's wrongful action over and over again in the mind is a terrible hindrance to obeying God's command to forgive. By continually reflecting on the wrong done to us, our thoughts act as a barrier between our hearts and God's heavenly compassion. One of the most important things to realize about forgiveness is that forgiving someone has nothing to do with their actions. As I already said, forgiveness is about you moving past the hurt and going forward in God's will for your life. Showing compassion for the wrong that was done is not easy, but it is necessary if we are to live the way that God commands. If we are able to love one another as God has loved us, we must value relationship over worldly justice and give grace where none is deserved. The Bible commands us to forgive others, as in Luke chapter 6, verse 37, "Judge not, and you will not be judged. Condemn not, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven." The only one worthy of passing judgment is already seated on his throne. God alone is perfect and able to offer sound judgment. Our Father longs to fashion us into his likeness so that we can model his love to a world with no concept of mercy. He longs for us to offer grace and forgiveness to the undeserving, just as we have been offered grace and forgiveness when we were undeserving. And with that, I want to remind you, life happens. Let's enjoy it. And friends, if God can keep forgiving us and forgetting our wrongs, why can't we? If God can overlook our mess, our mistakes, and call us blessed, why can't we? God bless, and I will talk to you tomorrow.